Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. It's the full moon. We getting ready to get it in this space. This is our live Yoni steaming session. We will be discussing a little bit of full moon information. We will be getting down into some conversation. As usual, we will also be dealing with some candle manifestation for the full moon energy, working on releasing and detoxing our wounds. What else? Yeah, we're going to flow with the flow of the energy. How y'all doing? How y'all doing tonight? I know that there is not many people in here. Peace. Thank you, sis. Just typing a couple of things so I could pin it up to the top before we get started. And as usual, my cat is on full flex mode. Wipe my sweat. What announcements do I have? I'm going to go over a couple of announcements really quick. Tomorrow, if you are not familiar, tomorrow we will be having a Yoni steaming and divine herbal connections course. That will be from 11:11 a.m. to 1:11 p.m. In that class, we cover all of the physical and spiritual benefits of the herbs that go into Yoni steams, as well as how to create an connection with the herbs that you are working with to heal your womb. In addition to that, tomorrow night from 7 to 9 as well, we will be having a red tent session. And in the red tent session, it's like the first red tent gathering that I'm doing here on this red tent, so I'm really excited. It's basically the same red tent circles that I used to hold with the women when I was doing womb healing and Yoni steaming prior to COVID-19. We used to have red tent circles, so I'm looking forward to that. It's the first one. It will be virtual tomorrow, here from 7 to 9 as well. Tonight, we about to get it popping. So I have some candles that are lit, and tonight we're going to be doing some candle meditation. I also have the fibroid and cyst shrinking Yoni steam. It's the one that we're going to be talking about tonight. This Yoni steam is for all the ladies who are having issues with healing their fibroids and their cysts in the womb, specifically those who are dealing with problems getting pregnant, conceiving their children. I'm getting ready to turn this music because I need some meditation. So give me a second. Yeah, take it down. I know for me, I need like a couple of moments of like real deep breathing because spirit is flowing and these spotlights are on me as usual. Let me see if that's too dark. If you're not. All right, do some deep breathing with me. Now, when we deep breathe, we want to make sure that we're taking the breath in through our nose and out through our mouth so that the air gets a chance to flow throughout our whole entire being. Take them slow, deep breaths, putting our feet flat on the ground so that we can ground ourselves. If you have shoes, kick them off. So I'm taking mine off, my slides. Whew, I needed that. All right, so of course I'm gonna start out with burning some sage and some Palo Santos before I hop in fully into this Yoni steaming party we getting ready to have. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's class because it's going to be the second Yoni Love Herbals Yoni Steaming and Divine Herbal Connections course that I'm holding. And I was supposed to be going away this weekend to a family reunion, but the Most High and Spirit had it so that I ended up staying here. And I actually think that works out better, so that I can be able to come to you guys and bring you everything that I want to bring from this space, where I have all of my supplies and I have everything that I need here and not trying to carry it on the road with me. So that worked out. What are y'all doing? I know there's not many people in here right now, but like, what's going on in y'all lives right now as far as traveling and dealing with the summer energy, that energy of bringing forth everything that we prayed about and we meditated on and we worked on manifesting in the beginning of the year. This is a time that in the summertime, we're working on bringing that into fruition. So the full moon specifically, which is today, although tomorrow is going to be the red tent gathering, which is where we'll really talk about the full moon and focus heavily on full moon energy. I do want to touch on that today. Burning some Palo Santos and some sage at the same time. And clearing out the space. Settle my cat down because she's all over the place. Jumping and hopping and running, chasing the ball and everything else that could possibly be happening. She's all over the place. So settle her energy down too. All right, so if you guys don't already know, on Tuesdays from 11:11 to 1:11 every single week, we have a Tuesday Rise and Grind session. I play music, and it's live virtual office hours for any sisters who are interested in learning about womb healing, about Yoni steaming, and anything about running a business, any of those topics. I cover all of them, or any other questions you might have for me. I'm there, I'm live, I'm virtual and available for you guys. So make sure y'all hop over on Tuesdays from 11:11 to 1:11. Also, in addition to that, if you have not already, make sure you check out the website, www.yoniloveherbals.com. I do carry 7 different Yoni steaming blends. Those blends deal with cleaning out and detoxing the womb for specific ailments that women suffer with on a regular basis in the community, and ailments that people were coming to me asking me that could I help them with, and that I needed help with myself as well during my womb healing journey. So I created a Yoni steaming brand. If you're not familiar with the brand, I created a Yoni steaming brand that specifically deals with dealing with certain issues that's in the womb that are common with women, that I basically had a dream. An elder came and shared the herbs that I was supposed to use. I used them on myself for a while, realized that I was supposed to be sharing them with others, and then bam, I started sharing them. So this Yoni steaming brand is something that I have taken the time to birth myself, literally, and to deal with womb healing myself and use the herbs and see how they impact me and how they are affecting my day-to-day life. And because of that, I'm a firm believer, because of the benefits that I've been seeing, I'm a firm believer in Yoni steaming and womb healing and womb massage as a tool and as a mechanism for us to be able to heal our wombs as women. Our wombs are the portals for everything that's happening in our lives, everything that we want to manifest, everything that we want to bring about. We hold it all in our womb center. And as women, I don't think we spend enough time taking the time to unwind and to relax and to detox our wombs. We go through traumatic relationships. We go through traumatic experiences with our parents and, childhood situations. We go through traumatic births and giving birth to our children. We go through trauma. Everybody does. Everybody has some kind of trauma that they need to release. But for women specifically, we hold that in our womb center. And so this is just this space, this red tent is meant to be a space where we focus on healing our wounds as women, detoxing ourselves, our bodies, our minds, our spirits, and especially, like I said, our yonis, and step into the healing energy. So tonight, I am going to, as I said it before, we're going to do a little bit of candle meditation. We're going to do some yoni steaming. Very briefly, it's going to be towards the end of this video, probably the last 20 or 30 minutes. I'll deal with yoni steaming. I'm not going to get into all the details of yoni steaming. If you did not see it already, the new moon's version. Is that the new moon? Yeah, the new moon. 2 weeks ago, I did a live where it was a live yoni steaming party, and I went through A to Z about yoni steaming, how to set up your yoni steaming chair / toilet seat if you're not using a chair, if you don't have a yoni steaming chair, how to use a toilet seat, recommendations about using a stainless steel pot inside of a plastic pot so that we are not heating up the chemicals inside of the plastic, and therefore sending them up into our wombs when we start to steam our wombs. We covered how to do womb massage, and I did a demonstration with my mannequin. We talked about how to get a really cost-effective yoni steaming skirt or dress, whatever you want to call it. Basically, it was just a wrap skirt or a knit skirt that you pull up to your breast here, and you just wear it and it flows down, and it becomes a really cheap version. If you don't have the money to be able to buy a yoni steaming dress, which I see a lot of times range from $25 to $50 online, we just got to make sure that we're thinking about all the different aspects. And I don't want the community here to feel like they don't have a solution to being able to heal their wombs because everything is so expensive. I have intentions on doing some giveaways tonight, and if a lot of people don't come to the live, that's fine. Those who are watching this live after this and are watching the recording of the live, I am going to hold the prize open until Sunday at midnight. I'm going to be giving away 2 fibroid and cyst shrinking mini yoni pack steams for you ladies to try. If you're interested in that, make sure you comment me and you email me at thisredtent@gmail.com. My cat is acting crazy. At gmail.com. I'm going to burn some incense because I just need it. Palo Santos, if you aren't familiar with it, is a really sweet fragrance wood. But still sometimes, the sage lingers. And I'm not a person that naturally has a problem with sage, but I just feel like smelling some nag champa and some sweeter fragrances to just bring the energy into the space. So we're going to put that right here. All right, so also on the website at yoniloveherbals.com and down in the description box below, there is a handout that you can go and purchase. It's only 50 cents, and it just covers the cost of the paper, but it's a full moon manifestation handout that you can go and you can purchase. And there are affirmations on here for full moon manifestation. So I am going to read those really quick, and we're going to use them a little bit later during our candle meditation when we go into that. That's going to be about 15 minutes or so. So if you don't have one already, make sure you go get yourself a candle and that you're able to join. I'm sorry, I'm distracted by my cat. That you're able to join us in the candle meditation. If you don't worry, I'm going to turn all the lights off up in here, and we're going to draw the candle in real close to the camera so you'll still be able to watch the flame over the live if you don't have your own to be able to use in front of you as I explained it. So just to go through the full moon meditation affirmations really quickly. They are: I release what is no longer serving me. I open to receive my highest good. I surrender all fears and doubts. I release my lower vibrational frequencies. I allow life to flow through me freely. All obstacles on my path are effortlessly removed with ease and grace. I release pain and suffering as a means to grow. I am open to receiving the abundance of opportunities that are flowing towards me. I release all beliefs, relationships, and people that no longer serve my highest good. I let go of all that is not in alignment with my purpose. I allow myself to receive all that I desire, and I activate the river of joy that flows through me. Now, this handout of manifestation is only 50 cents, so you can go and get it. But I think that a lot of times when we talk about affirmations, we kind of think about I am statements. But when we're working with candle manifestation and we're working with clearing out energy and we're working with tapping into our manifestation power in our wombs and releasing what is no longer needed so that we can move on to what we want to, be able to manifest, I don't think we spend enough time talking about what we want to release. And this full moon energy is a perfect opportunity to do that. So when the new moon, we're focusing on what we want to bring into our lives, what we want to manifest, what we want to go inward and think about the things we might want to change during the month, because that's also another flow of the new moon. What are some of the things that we want to change? Not just bring forward, but also change. And then meditate on those, go inward with those, and then on a full moon we work on banishing and getting rid of and releasing all that no longer serves us. So that's why a lot of the affirmations in the handout is specifically referring to what we're releasing, what we want to let go, working on positive mind chatter, not telling ourselves, talking to ourselves negatively, talking down to ourselves, if we have issues of self-esteem or self-esteem and issues of allowing other people to have the power that we would normally hold within ourselves to manifest what we want, then we can use self-esteem affirmations. Now, down in the description box, I have a free 11 affirmations to self-esteem and Yoni steaming to use, positive affirmations. You can go and you can download that down in the description box below if you would like. That's free. It's not a charge for that. And then this handout is of course, affirmations for the full moon manifestation. So I do want to talk a little bit before we get into the candle manifestation work and we start talking about candles and how they work and setting our intentions and things like that. I want to talk a little bit about going forward into that space. So for me, when I'm doing any kind of work on manifestation, I'm doing any kind of work on womb healing, or even when I'm working on clients, 9 times out of 10 I have on white, which you see me in today. I do have on gray today, but hey, what is the pop of color? So white for me though is the perfect color to deal with cleansing and to deal with removing. As we know, the full moon, when it's large and in this full majesty, and the night sky is white, right? And so white is also the color of releasing, cleansing, purifying, removing of blockages, being pure. The energy of pure frequency of white sound, even, just white sound of silence, of voidness. It can be voidness, it can be nothingness. I mean, white has so many different frequencies, but when I think about white, I think about purification, I think about healing, I think about removing blockages. And when you scrub something really, 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 really clean, you remove all dirt and grime from it, it's white. And so white has that energy of being clean. Now, I think also though there's a common misconception about the color black, and I don't want to allow myself to praise the color white and not praise the color black, because the hair gets tugging inside of me, and Lord forgive me if anybody gets offended watching this later on, but I'm just being real. The hair gets tugging inside of me will not allow me to give all this honor and glory to white and not talk about black. If we think about black has the vibration and the frequency of what they will call nothingness, but it also has the vibration and frequency of everything in the universe being concealed inside of black. everything in the universe, in space, outer space, is black. Why is it black? Because it's holding everything inside of it. It's the color of abundant, overflowing energy. We always think that black is like dirty and put it to the side, and that's nasty and it's grimy, and oh, we got a whole bunch of blockages, they come up as black. I see black and white, honestly, as polar opposites, and therefore they vibrate to me on the same frequency, because in order to be able to match up with a color, I think that color's opposite has to be at that same magnitude of vibration in order to be able to push energy forward. So when I think of white, I think of clean, I think of pure, I think of, no dirt being on it. But when I think of black, I think of fullness, I think of abundance, I think of overflowing energy, I think of so much that is got to be blacked out because there's nothing else can fit inside of it. You know what I mean? When you have a lot of volume inside of a container, a lot of times that container is not white. It's full of color. It's full of black. And so I just wanted to go over that really quickly, because I know a lot of sisters, when I deal with them as far as like womb healing, and they talk about candle meditation, they talk about manifestation, I see a lot of people only referring to black for the new moon, and because the moon, of course, is black when we can't see it, and it's just like the little teeny weeny crescent, and it's hardly any moon visible, they think of black. But black can also be used for full moon manifestation. It's really about what color you want to use, what vibration you want to bring about. So today we're going to be using a white candle, because I am going to be focusing on what I want to release so that I can draw to me. Okay, so it's going to be kind of like a double blade sword, as they say. There's going to be two edges to this manifestation work. We're going to be releasing so that we can bring in and so that we can usher in. I like to think of the full moon as an opportunity to release all that's energetically going on or physically going on, in order to usher in the new during the new moon, and to also focus on that week following the full moon energy before we go into the new moon, so that when I go into my hibernation state during the new moon, I'm able to go into it wholeheartedly, and I'm not carrying anything with me. So I'm going to move up a little bit, and we're going to talk about candle manifestation, and get into this really quickly. Whew, child, y'all can see my sweat up close and personal. All right, so this is the full moon candle. Can you guys see it? I think you can see it. It's a full moon candle. You can find these on YoniLoveHerbals.com. This full moon candle is specifically for wombversation and yoni meditation. So when I'm referring to healing my womb, and I'm talking about wombversation, I'm talking about tapping into the energy that's inside of my womb in order to be able to manifest all that I want, and I'm talking about using candles, I think about, like I said, color vibrations, but I also think about what am I going to be placing as far as my intention. Thank you. What am I going to be placing as far as my intention into the candle? What am I going to be bringing to the forefront of my mind when I'm working on manifestation? What intentions am I setting? What thought patterns am I trying to release? What items am I making sure that I include? Because sometimes I think, throughout the month, when we think about different stuff like, oh, I got to get rid of so-and-so, I got to remove this person, this place, this issue, this emotion from my life, we sometimes can forget about that. So I think, well, I'm going to talk about what I do for me. I think it's really important that I sit down and I do a little bit of meditation prior to going into the full moon manifestation, new moon manifestation, whichever one you're doing, because it allows me to recall whatever might not have been at the forefront of my mind. And then as I'm doing this candle meditation and I'm, talking to the Most High or whatever form of, higher being you believe in, as I'm talking to the Most High, I'm telling him, okay, Most High, I realize that this no longer serves me. I realize that I'm feeling this pain in my body. I realize that I'm having whatever issues that's going on in my life. I realize that so-and-so, did me wrong. And we got to also think about, okay, if we're going through some situations with people around us, first of all, the situation that you're going through and the person that's around you is a direct reflection of what you yourself is carrying at the time while you're going through these issues. And it's also a statement towards what you need to work on healing inside of yourself that you see inside of your partner. The thing that we hate the most inside of a person is often something that we need to work on and work on with ourselves and work on healing within ourselves. So for me, while I'm doing this meditation, if I'm thinking about a person who did me wrong, I, besides the fact that I'm thinking about, okay, this person did me wrong, I don't like this situation that happened, I also, after that, am going to switch my energy to how can I go about releasing this energy, shifting this energy, changing this energy, because we got to remember we working with the moon, and the moon is in cycles. So the moon is never full for longer than really a day. People say the full moon energy flows for an entire 3-day cycle, but it never stays exactly the same, which means that your situation that you're meditating on and you're working on manifesting through, the situation that you're dealing with is going to be a situation that can change and that can look different. And hey, how are you? That can look different depending on where you are in your healing journey. So I just want to make sure that before we get into this exercise, we talk about all of those foundational things that we really take the time to think about. And if you don't have one, make sure you get yourself a journal. I have a full moon and new moon manifestation journal. Give me 1 second. Esteemed Tuesday. Let's hear about it, sis. I can't wait to hear if you don't mind sharing. So in the meantime, while the sister is writing, this is the new moon and full moon manifestation journal that I have. It's the Make It Happen journal. Now, in the video that I made before, I talked about how I use my manifestation journal, what my sessions look like. I did a whole video talking about new moon. Was it the new moon or the full moon of Pisces? I think it was the new moon of Pisces. I did a whole manifestation video, and I talked heavily about how I use my journal to manifest all that I want. And in here, I would jot down whatever while I'm taking that moment to ground myself, and I'm thinking, and I'm working on releasing any energy that may be caught up inside. I'm working on writing down everything that comes to mind, right? If you did not hear me, sis, and you're still in the space, we're talking about full moon manifestation tonight. In the use of candles and candle manifestation. So I was just showing the ladies, for those who may come in later on, the full moon manifestation candle that's available on Yoni Love Herbals, and it's what I use for my Wombversation and Yoni meditation when I work on healing myself. So back to my journal and healing myself. So as I'm writing down everything that I want to release, and I'm thinking about the places and situations and issues that are going on in my life, or the emotions that I want to get rid of, and I'm thinking about what I no longer want to experience, and the health issues I might want to heal, and whatever is going on, I'm also thinking about this person that did me wrong, or this situation that I'm experiencing is a direct reflection of myself, as we talked about. Is a direct relation of whatever is a reflection of me, like I stated before. But the second part of that is, after I decide that this is something that I want to clear out of me, this is something that I don't want to take with me anymore, I want to heal, and all of those other different words that you might use to explain it, I'm going to switch my energy to my journal. I'm going to write down everything that I have to say. And after I write down everything that I have to say, depending on how I feel, I most of the time will get rid of my issues, right? Because I mean, this is all energy. We put energy into all of this. So I will get rid of my issues through using one of the four elements of the cosmos. Okay, no problem, sis. Do you have any questions for me? If you do, drop them. We're just talking about full moon manifestation and getting our wombs together and healing them during this full moon energy, what that looks like to release in order to be able to bring about. I am doing giveaways tonight for any women that come in, and tonight we're talking about the fibroid and cyst shrinking Yoni steams as the way that we heal our body and we use to release. I know a lot of women in the community, probably 6 or 7 women in this past week has written me about getting pregnant and having issues either with their menstrual cycles being irregular or fibroids and cysts taking over their wombs, or other issues that are going on. And so I feel like we need to focus a little bit on the process of healing to get to the place where we conceive our children. So I'm going to finish this really quick, and then I'm going to jump into the Yoni steam so that I don't lose my train of thought. So after I do all of my thinking, I set my intentions, I decide what I want to release from me, I hold my candle, and I actually have, okay, sis, I actually have I actually have a conversation video as well on the channel. If you have not watched it, make sure you go watch it. But I hold my candle, and while I'm sitting there thinking of everything that I want to release, I'm holding it and I'm setting my intentions. I'm thinking about, I don't want to deal with so-and-so anymore. I know that this is a reflection of me, Most High, universe, whatever you want to say. This is the energy that I'm calling towards me is a reflection, or the person who is doing me wrong is a reflection of myself and those things that I need to perfect this out of me, because I'm never free of any blame, for quote unquote lack of a better word to use, but I'm never free of any blame when I'm going through issues in life. And I understand that this is a direct reflection of the work that I need to do within. And so I'm holding my candle and I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to the Most High. I'm resonating with my spirit. Talking to my higher self so that I can be able to bring everything into one, because a lot of times, through the hustle and bustle of the week, our minds, our bodies, our spirits, our yonis, all of this stuff gets separated into all different areas in our life. You know what I mean? Sometimes we leave our freaking mind at home. It's like, man, I'm losing my mind. We say that a lot, throughout the day. And it's like, man, I forgot such and such, or, you just going about. Have you ever experienced those times where you're going throughout life and you're dealing with different people or different situations? You're like, I don't remember anything that just happened today. Like, I straight up don't remember anything I just did. What the heck happened? I actually have a whole period of my life where I was experiencing a lot of trauma. I was experiencing a lot of sadness. I was experiencing a lot of craziness going on in my life. And I was like, I don't remember none of my 20s. I had a conversation with my sister. I was like, I don't remember any of my 20s. I actually, hey, let's do a little story time. We got a little bit of time. So I was in a previous marriage, and me and my child's father ended up divorcing when she was very young. She was less than 2 years old. And then my my early adult sweetheart that I loved very dearly, and that we grew together through our end of our teenage going into our adult years, contacted me right after the divorce and was like, hey, what you doing? And I was like, nothing, but what you doing? And he was like, unfortunately, I'm locked up. And I was like, oh, wow. And so he was locked up. And I back then when I was younger, and I'm not that I'm not now, but in this space of my life, I need healing to be coming to me, right? I need high vibrations. I'm calling high vibrations. I'm calling high levels of abundance. I'm calling beings with high frequency that match mine. I'm calling a different kind of energy into my life now. But back then, I was focused on being a rider, right? So I prided myself on being a rider. And if I'm with you, I'm gonna tell you one thing. something about me, for anybody who don't know, who come in here to watch it, if I'm with you to the end. I'm gonna go all the way down into the depths of wherever you going. I'm gonna go all the way up to the sky with you. If I'm with you, I'm with you. I'm not going to desert you in whatever you're going through. And I hold my friendships, I hold my relationships, I hold my loved ones very near and dear to me. So in this situation, it was like, hey, I love this man. Me and my ex-husband he was just recently my ex-husband at that time. We aren't together anymore. This is a perfect situation for me to be able to, be with him. I love him. And so he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be getting out in a couple of years, and I'm like, all right, a couple of years, that ain't nothing. I mean, we could do this, we could do this. That ain't nothing. I could ride with you for a couple of years. So I'm riding with him through jail. And a year passed, 2 years passed, 3 years passed, 5 years passed, 7 years passed, 10 years passed.